What's going on, devoted geeks? Welcome to Geek Devotions, a show from a couple of devoted geeks devoted to letting people know that they're loved. My name is Dallas Moore, and this is
Celeste.
And we're so glad you hit the play button. Do us a favor, if you like this week's episode, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And also, if it encourages you, or maybe you think it will encourage a friend of yours, make sure you share this video. You may be the catalyst of somebody having some encouragement for the week. You know, that's not a bad thing. So go ahead and hit that share button down below and share it to the world.
So we are super excited about today's episode.
Oh, yes.
And we are so ready to share it with you. So Dallas, what is making this episode so very special?
Today's episode is special because we have special guest Cody Armour from Geeks Under Grace podcast and the Christian News Show. Cody's been around for a while and he does some amazing stuff, and he is a huge encouragement to us and to so many other people. So I want to encourage you guys, when you watch his episode, which is about to happen here in 3 seconds, make sure you keep your ears attentive. Leave comments down below, let him know what you think, and also share it with your friends. Again, we're all about loving on people and equipping you to love others. So, that being said, Mr. Cody Armour, take it away, brother.
What's going on, geeks? My name is Cody Armour. I'm a host for the Geeks Under Grace podcast, and I also run a Christian news show at youtube.com/CodyArmour. And a couple of things before we jump into it. First of all, thank you to Dallas and Celeste for letting me be a part of this. I really appreciate the opportunity. And two, be prepared. Way more jump cuts than a usual Geek Devotional video. I realized that while I was watching them. So with Destiny 2 being released recently, I wanted to talk about that. Destiny. You see, if you played the first Destiny game, then you probably asked a very similar question to what I and many other players did. And that was, what exactly am I supposed to be doing here? Like, don't get me wrong, it was a ton of fun, and I understand that I was protecting the city, but they gave you more questions than answers, and the basis of the game was just keep shooting. And no, I'm not going to make a Finding Nemo reference, even though I want to. And though the lack of purpose in Destiny was really frustrating, there are a lot of people in the real world that are frustrated with the lack of purpose here. Not all of us have it all put together like you do, Ash. And on the other side of this, there are people who do know what their calling is, their destiny, and they worship it. Something I've been seeing more and more are people who think they have their calling, and they put everything they can into that, and when it doesn't work out, it crushes them. And I think both of these problems come from us being just too specific. And so I'm gonna make this easy for you. I'm going to tell you your purpose right now. I'm talking to you, Dave. I'm just kidding, this is for everyone. They're gonna be really simple and a little cliche, but stick with me. The first two can be found in all of the Gospels, but we're gonna go to Luke 10:27. I don't know, I just chose one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength and all your mind, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you've been a Christian for more than 24 hours, you probably know this verse. It's two laws that encompass all of the laws, and it is part of your destiny. And the third part can be found in Matthew 28:18 and 19. And Jesus came up and spoke to them, saying, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of age. It's called the Great Commission, and the them that the Bible is referring to are the disciples of Jesus. And if the disciples did their job right, and spoiler alert, they did, and then that commission is passed on to us. Your calling is not to be poor your whole life. It's not to get rich. Your calling isn't to go do a missions trip, probably on some vacation island. It's not even to be a pastor. And don't hear me wrong, those things could be a part of your calling, but there's no reason to overthink it. There's no reason to worry when it's not going exactly like you thought it would. Your calling is to love your God with everything you got, and love everyone else just as much as you love yourself. It's to be a light to everyone you can, and for those who come to it, show them how to be a light as well. It doesn't matter how you go about doing that as long as you're doing it. Your calling or your destiny or your purpose, it's not something that you're preparing yourself to obtain. It's something that you need to be doing right now. I don't want to give too much away, but in Destiny 2, your purpose is to bring light back to the world. In the video game, that's apparently by shooting a bunch of stuff. I can promise you that that will not work here in the real world. But now you know what your destiny is, so just do it in the best way you possibly can. Again, thank you so much to Dallas and Celeste for letting me do this. And if you want more of my face for some reason, you can always go to youtube.com/CodyArmour. But also, Don't forget to check out geeksundergrace.com. Dallas and Celeste are part of it too, but I like repping Geeks Under Grace wherever I can. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Cody, thanks so much for doing this week's episode. We really, really appreciate it so much. And so for your question of the week, guys, it's real simple. We want to know, what do you feel like your calling is, and how are you walking out? Now, Cody already gave you a great answer for what your calling is. So I guess the real question is, how are you walking out? And if you don't know what the answer is, you need to rewind this video and watch and hear what Cody said.
Also, tonight, there is going to be a Geeks Under Grace podcast.
Yes.
And it is going to be live.
It's going to be awesome.
On Twitch and Facebook.
Yes.
They have reached their 100th episode, and they are super excited. So if you did not get quite enough of Cody, go watch the podcast.
But do us a favor, when you watch the podcast, make sure you let him know in the live chat, this is live, guys, that you heard about him on our stuff, or that you saw his episode today, and be like, hey, Cody, we saw you on Geek Devotions. Good on you, man. So, again, we're just super proud to know Cody, and we're very thankful. Cody, really, thank you so much, man, for being part of Geek Devotions. It's a blessing to have you be a part of our show. It's a blessing to be able to work with you with Geeks Under Grace, but also just to call you friend, man. You're a pretty cool guy. So, all that being said, speaking of friends, our friends over at Victims and Villains podcast had us do an episode for them. It's going to be airing this Thursday on their YouTube channel. There will be cards, links to the cards in at the end of this episode. And I want to encourage you guys to check that out. We were going to be on his podcast today. However, some technical issues happened. It was a really sad day, so sadly won't be on there, but we'll be on his podcast here in a couple of months. So look forward to that mess. But for right now, jump over to Victims and Villains, subscribe to the channel, and, interact with them and check out his podcast. Really, it's some great stuff. And if you know somebody that's struggling with thoughts of depression, suicide, and addiction, get them connected to Victims and Villains. I think it'll be a real encouragement for them.
Okay, well, I think that is everything. So, y'all stay devoted.
Peace and love, guys.